So if you're unfamiliar with the situation in India, it's really something from a horror movie. It's the couple who married first, and after some time, when the husband find out that his wife is cheating, that wife calls that man that she is cheating with, or other men, calls them and basically set up situation so that her husband end up dead. Only in this month are 6 documented cases in only one country. So imagine what is happening in the whole world. It doesn't matter if you're Indian or not, this topic is relevant for every ethnicity. And this is very alarming, especially for the people who try and find their partners or future wives. So what is a problem? Why did this even happen in our world? Some blame women because they think they are evil and that they are root of all evil, and some blame men because they are incompetent because of their lack of strength and mental discipline. They let this to happen. But the truth is that neither of the cases are necessarily true, but they aren't necessarily a false. It's a combination of both things. It's a problem with weak men and girls or women who abuse that fact. How to position yourself as a young man to not end up into a situation like this, because you can end up in a similar situation. And you hear this story many times where a man meets a woman and they had like one night stand or whatever, and after a few days on his door there is police and they arrest him because that woman accused him of rape or some kind of assault. It doesn't matter. And in the most cases, as a man, even if you are in the right, you are gonna still be arrested. I'm not here to discuss is this a good system or policy. It's the reality. So we are not getting into that. But this video, the goal for this video is to show you how to avoid as much as possible this situation. So you don't get arrested for the things you didn't actually do. It's sad because it's very likely that something like that can actually happen to you. You just want to meet some woman at the gym, at the park, at the school, it doesn't matter, and you just want to be physical with her, and you're both consent into intercourse, and that happens for only one night, and then you do your job, you kind of forget about her, and she has the power to call cops on you and accuse you of assault or even worse things than that. And the truth is, if you are a male, in the most cases, even if she doesn't have that proofs, you are still gonna be arrested. So let's not stretch this video. How to avoid this? So the first thing is to stop thinking about women that much. First thing that you need to sort out before even being in some kind of relationship with women, you need to fix yourself. So the first thing that I would urge you or kind of suggest you is to pick up a paper, and on this paper you're gonna write qualities that you want in your future wife. So let's name a few. For example, being respectful to you, be fully supportive of your goals in life, woman who wants kids with me, healthy, beautiful, and very energetic, for example. You can write whatever you like. And let's say feminine, let's say like woman that has her own purpose in life and when you write down every single quality that you want in your future wife, then you're gonna sit and think, what kind of man does this woman want? And then you go, if she is feminine, she would like a masculine guy, right? And at the same time, he needs to be emotionally intelligent. He needs to understand her and be present in the moment. Another thing, if she's gonna be beautiful and healthy, then you must be too. So you write down, I must be healthy, in shape, and beautiful automatically, right? So the next quality we said is like, does she wants kids? So you write, then I must be appropriate father. And for example, if she wants to be stay-at-home mom, then you need to be guy or a man who can provide that to her. And you go down the list, and for every quality that she needs to have, you need to write correspondingly your quality that you need to exceed, so you can attract the woman of your dreams only when and only when you are the guy from her dreams. So how to become guy of some woman dreams? It starts with you not wanting to be with other women just for the sake of being in a relationship. And I mean by that is you don't get in a relationship with a woman that you do not see as a future wife. And there is always gonna be conflict with those red pill guys who always said that you need as much experience with a woman. But most of those red pill guys never find that perfect and respectful wife, because perfect wife is gift from God, and you will not get her if you're degenerate in any kind of shape or form. So that's what I said. You first need to work on yourself and with your relationship with God, and then you can attract a future wife. So that automatically means that you need to stop chasing women, and you need to avoid relationship that doesn't have any future. So if you are getting into a relationship, you need to already see that woman as your potential wife. Everything else is a waste of time, money, mental health, your spiritual presence. So every time you are in a relationship with a woman, one part of you always stays with her. And that's a spiritual fact, and that's a biological fact. And if you don't believe me that that is a biological fact, don't trust me, look up on the Google about this. And I heard a really good metaphor for this. Imagine your soul like a duct tape, like that material. And every time you're in relationship with a woman, your souls connect. That tape connects, right? And every time that relationship breaks, imagine you and her tape just breaks. And when you find a second partner, that tapes is harder to stick again. And imagine if you continuously do that, what's gonna happen? Eventually, that tape will really struggle to stick. So yes, men and women have that tape. I see a lot of red pill guys talk about that only female have this tape and that they can eventually lose that sticking ability. But the guys, they can have unlimited women and the tape like always stays the same. But that's not the true, and those guys do not know anything about a real life relationship. If you don't believe me, look at their lives. Like they will eventually realize that they needed spiritual guidance and that they needed in life God, and they will just realize the things that they were saying were lies. They were pretendings. if that even is a word. And what to do when you're in situation when you find out your wife, your partner is cheating on you. So if you're a man, the worst thing you can do is argue or confront her, because the scenario that often happens when the most unalivings happens is when the guy finds out that his girl was cheating on him. When he confronts her, she gets mad, and then she, with that anger in herself, then she does the unthinkable. Like, if you are not that experienced with a woman, like, you can imagine, like, sweetest girl ever, but when that switches off, when she gets on her evil side, you don't want to provoke that. And a lot of guys say, like, what's she gonna do? Like, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, but she doesn't have to fight you physically. She can call other men, other groups of men to fight you, and to, unfortunately, like in India, go as far to unalive you. Because when a female is in her anger state, then she doesn't think rationally. Like, if you piss out a guy, he will get mad and you will probably fight, and if he knows he's weaker, he will only, like, call up his friends. But women can turn whole community of people against you. Like, even call the cops on you, you can get arrested, you can be in jail. So to avoid that, you need to avoid confronting her when she cheats on you. The best thing you can do is leave. So avoid confrontation, because that sweet girl that you know can switch up really fast, and she can rock the rest of your life. So the best thing is what I said, is to just leave. And in the most cases, she will respect you more if you do that. And there is cases when girl gets offended that you ignore her, and then she just calls the police on you and lies to them that you assault her. And that's the just unfortunate state of the world that we live in. But I will suggest you, if you have problem with this kind of woman, like, if you talk to women, you can see that they are a little psycho. So I will suggest you, like, recording. So when the police comes, you have some proof that you're innocent. And you probably realized by now that avoiding women in general is much safer option than confronting them and then later to succumb to consequences of that. As I said, it's unfortunate because most men wants a good relationship, a stable relationship. They want a future wives, they want a kids, but in the process of approaching girls, you can end up in jail. But we cannot make any progress if we're just stuck blaming the world, the things around us. We need to play the cards that we are dealt. So the best way to approach a woman is to not cold approach. It's better to know her through her friends, so you can know her past, and that way, like in the talkings, she can, through the friends, learn about your past. And then when you think that's the girl that have, like, really good potential, then you can set up a date that's peaceful by nature. And in that way, you can still talk, and you need to focus on your talking game, because you need to be present, observant, and you need to upgrade your game, your talk with women. Because when you upgrade your talking game, you can find out what kind of person she is. And when you upgrade your game, your talking game, when you speak as much as possible with people, you're gonna get good at evaluating that person. So you don't need to cold approach women to get good at talking game. You can speak with men, with other men. And thank God we have internet. And you can learn a lot about women and their psychology. So if you want any kind of guidance, and if this topic actually intrigues you and you wanna learn more, I will suggest you this channel and even contacting me so I can help you in your journey. That's all for today's video. Stay safe, people. God bless.